Savannah Chrisley talks Todd and Julie's future, joint interview coming. The Chrisley Knows Best family has a lot to celebrate these days. Todd and Julie Chrisley were given a full pardon by President Trump. The couple reported to prison in January 2023 and were originally supposed to serve a combined 19 years behind bars. However, that number was slightly reduced later on. Now they are free and can begin planning their future again. Their daughter Savannah Chrisley played a huge role in them regaining their freedom. She spoke on her podcast on Tuesday about how things are going now for her parents and what is planned for the future. What did she say? Keep reading to find out more. Savannah Chrisley reveals plans for Todd and Julie. Chrisley Knows Best stars Todd and Julie are getting back into normal everyday life after being released from prison. Todd did do a short press conference with Savannah last Friday. However, he and Julie have not done a joint interview yet. On Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley, she revealed that her parents will be doing their first joint interview on her podcast. They have not filmed it yet, but she shared on her newest episode that it will be happening before the end of June. Savannah said, "I cannot wait to have them on the podcast. That is going to happen before the end of June. So they're going to come on the podcast, and we're going to talk about their experiences, their life in prison, and now their life after." She went on to say how proud she is of her parents. Along with the other siblings, Savannah is excited to have Todd and Julie back home. Savannah said, "I am in just such awe, and I just can't wait for what's to come. I can't wait for the trips and family moments and to make up for lost time. But obviously, it's gonna take us a little while to get back to normal life, and I'm just excited." What else do Todd and Julie have planned? Savannah Chrisley also revealed that Todd and Julie will be starting their own podcast back up. They were doing Chrisley Confessions, which kicked off in 2018. Obviously, it was put on hold when they both went to prison. They will be bringing it back, and no doubt the reunited couple will be sharing more stories from their time behind bars. Savannah had spoken to people and said the entire family is enjoying spending time together. After not seeing each other for 2.5 years, it's an adjustment for Todd and Julie. She said they will talk about their feelings and all the emotions they have felt both in prison and now. She believes they will be able to articulate it perfectly. Fans won't want to miss Savannah's interview with her parents later this month. Are you excited to listen? She promises that their story is just getting started. Savannah Chrisley sits poised, her signature platinum blonde waves cascading over her shoulders, confidence radiating from her as the cameras begin to roll. The 27-year-old has grown up in the public eye, first charming viewers with her southern wit on Chrisley Knows Best, and more recently stepping into the spotlight as the family's de facto spokesperson. But today, there's a shift in her tone, not one of defiance or despair, but of clarity. She's here not just to talk, but to tease something fans have been waiting for: a joint interview with Todd and Julie Chrisley. "I've held a lot in," Savannah begins, her voice steady. "But it's time people hear directly from Mom and Dad." It's been over a year since Todd and Julie began serving time in separate federal facilities, the result of a highly publicized fraud and tax evasion conviction. In that time, Savannah has juggled a podcast, taken custody of her younger siblings, Grayson and Chloe, and waged a tireless social media campaign to clear her parents' names. But even for someone as outspoken as Savannah, the emotional weight has been immense. "There's so much people don't know," she says. "There's more to the story. There's always been more." That more, Savannah reveals, will soon come in the form of a long-anticipated joint interview with Todd and Julie, recorded from their respective prisons and woven together in post-production. It's a legal and technical feat, coordinated through their lawyers, and with approval from federal authorities. But for Savannah, it's more than a media broken and defeated. She says, her blue eyes narrowing. They're not. They're stronger than ever, and they want to talk. Together. The idea of a joint prison interview isn't without precedent, but for Todd and Julie, it's symbolic. They were always a team, Savannah says. Through parenting, through business, through this whole ordeal. That bond didn't break when they walked into prison. It just changed shape. She describes the process as emotionally grueling. 2 separate interviews, conducted weeks apart, with questions prepared collaboratively. It was wild, Savannah laughs, the first hint of levity in the conversation. We had to coordinate questions in advance, make sure Mom didn't answer what Dad already said. It's like producing a show from 2 different worlds. Still, she says, it's worth it. They need to be heard, and not in sound bites or through me. In their own voices. Savannah hints that the interview will touch on everything. The trial, the appeal, life inside prison, and even the future of the Chrisley brand. People forget, my parents built something out of nothing. They came from nothing. That doesn't vanish because of a conviction. They're still Todd and Julie. They still dream big. When asked if she believes a future reality show is possible, Savannah doesn't flinch. Oh, 100%. I already have ideas, she grins. Can you imagine the first day Mom and Dad are back home? Chloe and Grayson running into their arms. That's not just TV. That's healing. But there's another layer beneath Savannah's drive, one laced with vulnerability. She describes nights of crying on the floor, wondering if her parents would make it, if she would make it. There were days I hated God, she admits. And then days I thanked him. Faith has been a roller coaster. She credits therapy, her faith, and a new understanding of resilience for keeping her going. I had to grow up overnight. I went from being the daughter to being the parent to being the advocate. But if I didn't speak, who would? Savannah's tenacity hasn't gone unnoticed. The family's fan base remains fiercely loyal, often sending letters, money for commissary, and words of encouragement to Todd and Julie. You have no idea how much that means to them, she says, her voice softening. Those letters, they're lifelines. And while the Chrisley's future remains uncertain, their appeal is still pending. Savannah remains hopeful. We believe the truth will come out, she says. And when it does, people are going to be shocked. She doesn't elaborate on the specifics, citing legal restrictions, but teases that the joint interview will include moments that change the narrative. There's stuff I heard for the first time while editing their tapes, she reveals. Stuff they'd never even told me. I had to pause and cry more than once. The upcoming interview, tentatively titled United Apart, Todd and Julie Speak, is set to air on a major streaming platform, with Savannah as executive producer. She calls it the most important project she's ever done. This isn't about ratings. It's about redemption. But as the conversation winds down, Savannah makes it clear. The Chrisley story is far from over. You haven't seen the last of us, she says with a knowing smile. You think we'd let prison be the final chapter. Please, that's just the plot twist. She leans forward, eyes sparkling. Stay tuned. We're just getting started.